Today, what I'm going to show you is how to make a chicken in the rock. I know that sounds funny, but certain places around the world, in tribes in certain areas, what they would do is they take a chicken and enclose it in a clay case, and then they would bury that in the ground, and that would turn into a pressure cooker and it would actually cook the chicken. So we do not have here ground or any underground heating system or any fire in the ground, so we're going to be using the stove. And if you follow along, I think you're going to find this fascinating, especially when you use chickens and you put that rock on top of your dining room table and you give everybody a hammer and a screwdriver in order to open it up. So I know it sounds kind of strange. Follow along with me and you're going to see exactly how we do it. Okay, we're back. What we're going to do now is we are going to saute the garlic. There's 4 cloves of garlic here, and I have about 1/4 cup of olive oil. So I'm going to put the garlic in there for the marinade, and I'm going to let that saute on a lower heat. At the same time, I'm now going to prepare the marinade here, which basically consists of a little bit of marghi, maybe about half a tablespoon, or half a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to put in here to make a little hot, a little piri, which is some hot peppers, and we're going to put in here some lemon, and this will create the marinade. We will take 1 tablespoon of paprika, give it some good taste and some color to the chicken, about 1 tablespoon. That should do it. And what I like to add on my previous recipes is a little bit of Portuguese hot sauce, which you can see on I do not how to cook shrimp. I will show you there how to make it and how to find this. And I'm back. So the garlic has sauteed, it has cooled with the olive oil, and I will now put that into here, and what I am making is the marinade for the chicken. So we put that in there, stir that really, really well. Now the chicken that I'm using is an organic chicken. If you want to do individual servings, you can buy basically smaller chickens. And as you can see, I already tied the legs back here, and I tied the wings ready to go. Now the marinade, the way I like to do it is I like to do it by hand. It's just something that I learned that will make it, I don't know, to me it makes it taste better when I do it by hand. Now we will cover the whole chicken completely with this marinade, like this. And what I do in order to make it taste better is I rub it completely the way my grandmother used to show me, by rubbing it into the skin. I know it's messy, but you know something? For some reason, it always tastes better when I do it this way. And I rub the whole chicken. Now, this will basically go into the refrigerator covered for about 3 hours to let the chicken marinate properly. Now I'm going to show you how to make the rock. Now in order to make the casing for the chicken, I have here exactly 6 cups of all-purpose flour, and I have exactly 1 kilo of salt. Now you need to pay attention what I'm going to do to the salt, and trust me that I know what I'm doing. So now I take the salt and I pour all 1 kilo of the salt into this bowl. Now what I do is I add about 2 cups of water, and I mix this all around until I get a dough. Okay, I'm back. Now I have the dough here. It's been kneaded and it's getting ready to roll, but not yet. First, now I have to prepare the chicken. So I grab one foil like that and I put it in that way. I grab another foil and I put it in this way. And I grab one foil and we put it here in the middle in order to make what I call a boat. Now, what I do is I grab the chicken and I put the chicken right there in the middle of that foil. Keep my hands properly clean. And now what I do is I take the sauce, which is here, and I put more sauce. And now what we do is I go from the bottom up and I create a boat to cradle it like this. And now what I do is I push the sides up like this and I close the chicken completely with this foil. And the opening is up towards the top and the bottom is completely closed. Be careful not to rip the bottom. And there is that the chicken's in there ready. Now we take a little bit of flour and we're going to work on this table. And we take the dough, which is here, which I have kneaded, and I have basically mixed it really good because of the salt. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to create part of the rock. And if you don't have a rolling pin, you can always use my favorite, the wine, and you just basically keep on rolling it until we create a dough which is more or less 1/4 of inch thick. And as you can see, the dough is becoming bigger and bigger. And now we grab this with, we put in the middle with the part opening up, and we take the dough and we press it all over the top like this, closing every single hole. We take some of the excess dough out, and now we bring it out, we bring it all in, and we create a rock. Now we grab some water and we roll it all around till all the holes are completely closed. There we go. Now we grab the foil there, the pan there, and the foil, and you take a little bit of this foil, then with the foil, and you put that on the bottom like this, because I don't want that to stick. Now, you grab this very gently, this rock, and you put the rock right in there like that. We set the oven for 400 degrees and bake for 1 hour. And what will happen now, this will be like a natural pressure cooker, and the chicken will cook in the natural juices inside this, and it will be absolutely beautiful. Okay, now Now, basically it is ready, and I'm bringing it out of the oven. And here we have it, we have a chicken in a rock. As you can see, it is a real rock. Now, when I put it into the oven, it went into the oven at 400 degrees, which is 200 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. And then after 1 hour, I reduced it down to 325 Fahrenheit, which is 150 to 175 Celsius, and I left it there for 3 hours. It has been sitting, it will now sit on top of here for exactly 1 hour, and that way it will cool down, ready for me to work. And as you can see, it is a chicken in a rock. Now here is my chicken in the rock, and it has been cooled down for 1 hour, and now I bring it out and I transfer it to this plate here. And the way to open it now is only one way. You take a hammer and you take a screwdriver and you apply pressure right about here, and you break it and crack it all the way around. Remember, chicken in a rock. There's no other way. You cannot cut it. A knife will not work. It has to be a hammer. Now, you can imagine when you make these things small and you put one on each table, you put one on each individual plate, and you go to the dollar store and buy one. I know it is a lot of work, but believe me, this thing has been cooking in its natural juices. Now I'm going to turn it off, and I will have it cut all the way around for you. And I have now cut it all the way around, and now I pull the top off like that. Put to the side. I pull all and there you have it, a perfectly cooked chicken in its natural juices. Cut it, and it is absolutely 100% moist, perfectly cooked, and perfectly delicious. It is so moist and so tender, cooked in its natural juices, you would not believe it at this point. Now I need to taste it.